excited. On an annual basis, we have over 1 trillion euros in trade.
Our Bolivian world, ladies and gentlemen. With you, with us is our world.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Crypto assets have been hitting the headlines recently, and they have both their fans and their detractors. But given the size of the market, the high-profile fan base, and the recent roller coaster ride in valuations, they cannot be ignored. Crypto assets feature in our 2022 Sonar report on emerging risk insights. And I'm very pleased today to be joined by Professor Roger Wattenhofer of the Information Technology and Electrical Engineering Department at ETH in Zurich, to discuss the challenges, the risks, including for the insurance industry, of crypto assets. Professor Wattenhofer, welcome.
Thanks for having me. Thanks.
Nice to have you here. So first of all, how do you define crypto assets, and what are the main forms?
I think the best way to define it is to come from assets as we know, like bank accounts. And in bank accounts, you have a bank which takes care that the money you have in the bank is safe. They usually store the money on several computers that they are sort of fault tolerant. They use some crypto on top of that. And I would say crypto assets are almost the same, right? You have several computers who store the information about your assets. The only difference is, I would say, that the computers are not owned by a single company, by your bank, but by several companies or several individuals. And so in some sense, it's more secure, if you want.
Okay. And there's been an exponential rise both in the size of the market and the valuation of some of these assets. Has come down recently, of course. But what's been the driver of that?
So I guess for the value exponential growth, mostly I would say it's because people believed in it. They would think, you know, Bitcoin is going to be worth 100 times as much in a few years. So that probably drove it. And on top of that, maybe the central banks that were printing money in the last few years, so that didn't help to give trust to central bank money. So maybe people also thought maybe I should have something else on top of that.
Okay, and then what are the benefits, or what is the impact of cryptocurrencies on the global economy today?
Yes, I would say what I mentioned before, the security is one of the benefits. So you could have a more secure asset if you trust yourself that your passwords are not stolen. Okay, let's remark this right now. And the second, I would say, benefit is that we have a more, money or the more decentralized asset. Usually money is controlled by central banks, as I said, and here we have something which is really not controlled by anybody or just by an algorithm.
Mm-hmm. And does that bring risks with it?
Well, there's many risks, I would say. So we have seen a high volatility for the assets, so that they, jump in prices up and down all the time. And then, of course, there's risks that the government will never accept it, so you can never pay taxes with your crypto assets. That's also a big risk, that it's never really accepted in many situations, many forms. And I would say other risks or other problems with it are maybe energy consumption, with at least with the old school cryptocurrencies. That's something we see there. This is going away with newer currencies, but old school currencies have that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay. And then in the recent Sonar, we look at the growing crypto market as an opportunity for insurers to offer new covers such as loss or damage to wallets, sort of crypto wallets and those sorts of things, and NFTs. What risks do you think insurers should be aware of?
Well, there's many risks, there's many opportunities, I would say, at the same time with risks. So we didn't mention, for instance, smart contracts. That's one of the big opportunities right now. And that goes together directly with the risks. So people have been implementing smart contracts, and they're building these whole decentralized finance systems around these smart contracts where you can combine smart contracts in arbitrary ways. And I would say for insurers, that's one of the opportunities here to look into these smart contracts and maybe say, this is a safe smart contract. We give you guarantee that this works. And that would be something. Or even a step further, go to a whole blockchain and say this whole blockchain is something we guarantee that it's safe. I think that's one of the opportunities for insurance companies. And others are, there's other risks, I would say. There's programming bugs, there's people losing the passwords. So that's also a nice opportunity, of course, to kind of make this more safe.
Thank you. And then so, I mean, it feels like a very forefront technology now. Obviously, we've been familiar with it. The things like NFTs are coming in and so on. How do you see the technology developing in the next, sort of the next decade, the next 2 decades? Where's that going?
Right. So I would like to see some, traction in areas which haven't received much yet. For instance, if you take something like real estate markets, so all these things are really still controlled in an old school way. And that's not how it should be. I think the technology could help a big deal there. And essentially, real estate market is like an NFT. It's a non-fungible token. It's this house which is there and who owns it, and that you can give shares to several people and do things like that. In the NFT market itself, let's say what people would consider an NFT market, that we see a lot of, volatility, I guess, in the next years to come. And maybe it's a bit a weird application area in the first place, but maybe digital art, for instance, as the main driver currently for NFTs, has never seen a lot of traction in the past. I was actually looking around and looking for what was the biggest sale for before NFTs in the digital art market, and there's not much there. So I think there's a lot of things going to happen there as well, but with a lot of risk involved.
And then I assume that it's the currency for the metaverse as well, I suppose. It's
Yes, so that's what people believe in. I guess, everything goes digital. Of course, that's a trend you have seen for many years. It would be strange not to have that. But I would go back to the composability. I think that's in the metaverse something we might see very much, right? That all of a sudden we can combine things in ways that are very complicated in traditional finance, for instance, and we can see these things happening in the crypto space.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then a role for insurance in the metaverse?
Similar as in the current crypto asset market, I would say.
Yeah.
So I would think that many people don't trust the smart contracts. They don't trust the programs behind it, and I think insurance can help there. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and then there's a lot of discussion at the moment about I think it's stable coins and those that are backed by hard currency and so on. And of course, I think some governments famously, for example, in South America, beginning to sort of take on Bitcoin, or at least think about digital currencies. What does that mean for geopolitical stability for economies globally?
Yes, so you mentioned something very important: the stable coins and also the so-called oracles, where you basically have a transition between the real world and the crypto world. There's a kind of an interface there. And these are the things which will be the most critical things in the years to come. We have seen it with stable coins just a few weeks back, actually, that this was a problem. And oracles will be the same thing, that they are built in some way, but they cannot really trust it. Now, I would hope that eventually central banks might enter the game, for instance, and bring their own central bank digital currency, and then you have a combination of the old world and the new world, which is much more safe than the current hacky situation that we have.
Yeah. Okay. Well, a very interesting future to come, and obviously potential for insurers. Professor Wattenhofer of the ETH in Zurich, thank you very much indeed for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
As global financial markets continue to evolve, investments in online trading are now more accessible than ever before. With a daily volume of more than $5 trillion, the foreign exchange market is the most liquid in the world. Specialized in Forex and CFDs trading, BD Swiss gives you immediate access to the financial markets. enabling you to trade hundreds of instruments with just a single click. You can place your order anytime, anywhere, and have it executed in less than 10 milliseconds. BD Swiss goes the extra mile to offer you a solid trading environment by continuously investing in technological innovation with fully automated trading systems, natively designed trading platforms, and state-of-the-art server infrastructure, processing over 1.3 million transactions per month for clients from over 160 countries. Supporting clients in more than 25 languages, partnering with over 150 secure payment providers. From London to Berlin, Limassol and Kuala Lumpur, with more than 200 employees and an ever-growing community of more than 6,500 affiliate partners, at BD Swiss, we work around the clock to ensure our traders receive top-class support, award-winning trading conditions, ultra-fast execution, and top-tier liquidity in a multi-regulated environment. Behind our expanding loyal client base lie the well-coordinated efforts of BD Swiss's expert teams, analyzing traders' needs, refining workflows, investing in fintech innovation, and fine-tuning our internal procedures and processes to ensure operational excellence, resulting in a seamless omni-channel experience throughout each trader's journey. Empowering investors since 2012, at BD Swiss, we make no compromises when it comes to your trading experience. BD Swiss. We give you more than trading.
Mute some people. Yes.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Thanks so much. So awesome to be on the call. It's certainly been a long time coming. At least that's the way it's felt for me, because there's been a heck of a lot of work happening in the background, a lot of partnerships, alignments, brands coming on board in the last short while. But I want to just maybe take us back to December 2020. I want to take us back to a time when a lot of us were looking to find a really safe home, a good company, strong technology, strong leadership, and deep pockets to be able to actually go and penetrate the market with effective products, effective technologies, and effective goods. And so in December 2020, I had the privilege of flying into Dubai and meeting with the person who many of you have grown to know over the last 18, 19 months, and that is Mr. Joseph Haidt. I got to meet with his Chief Technical Officer, Alexandre Koechendow, and got to meet with some key leadership, influencers, communicators, trainers, heads of markets and communities and networks, who all were meeting to say, if we go on this journey, what would it look like? What are the financial implications? What are the timing implications? What are the technologies that are actually going to come to the market? What is the rollout of that? Who's driving that technology development? Not just financially, but who's heading up the development teams? How big is the scope of that? What are some of the partnerships that are potentially coming through the pipeline? Who are we associated to now? Who are we aiming to be associated with in 6 months, 12 months, 18 months time? And so it was a 3-day intensive here in Dubai at the Rixos Hotel. There was the beautiful social part, which are, dinners and speeches. And then there was the nuts and bolts, the getting around small tables with 12, 20, 30 people, and really understanding where this company wanted to go and how it wanted to get there. We then fast forwarded all the way to a year later. If I go and do the math, let me just do the math. No, 6, 7 months later, actually, fast forwarded. And we end up at our very first company event based inside of Dubai at the Burj Khalifa building at the Amani Hotel. In those 6 months, the company has kept to its word, has kept to its commitments. We had a mainnet, our own mainnet, our own blockchain setup. We had our own coin listed out into 7 different exchanges. We had masternodes and staking. Those are the mechanisms that keep that mainnet safe, launched officially. And we had a community coming on board. We had a partner put in place already with our very first product, and that was a crypto card that allowed us to start moving monies in and out of our banking environments and back into cryptocurrency environment. And along with this, our very first product, and along with our first marketing product, which was essentially the ability to get more coins and more footprint within our system, we launched our partner program. We then fast forward again, and we fast forward all the way to another event here in Dubai, an event that was hosted at the Dubai Opera House. A year later in the history of the company, and suddenly we're not just a mainnet blockchain with a product, but we've now got an entire metaverse built off the back of this. We've got NFT citizenships. They get access to different income streams coming from gaming and trading and activity happening inside of Lydian World, our own metaverse. We've got the ability to partner up with large companies and brands and celebrities. We're suddenly seeing names like Michael Salgado, Roberto Carlos, Floyd Mayweather. We're seeing Lucas Radebe, Herschel Gibbs, Victor Matfield. Those are football stars, boxing stars, rugby stars, cricket stars aligning themselves with the brand because the company is staying good on their word. Hey, we're committed to bringing this thing mainstream. We went from a Web 2.0 blockchain, which just about every company out there has right now, 27,000 different blockchains, went from a Web 2.0 blockchain to a Web 3.0 metaverse. That metaverse is what's giving us so much traction. And so at that event at the Opera House, BD Swiss, the CEO of BD Swiss, the owner of BD Swiss as well, attended that and put their rubber stamp and said, we want to align ourselves with your metaverse. We want to bring our traditional brokerage into a meta brokerage. And so now we want to set a product, a service, and a technology alignment in place that allows your community to not just be exposed inside of the world of cryptocurrencies and crypto protocols and crypto staking and mining and pooling, but what if we could also give you a footprint in the traditional market too? And so this month, we've actually been in the back office. A lot of coding and API, a lot of compliance has been taking place because on the 1st of July, that meta broker relationship officially kicks off. A meta broker relationship that allows us to get more income streams coming into our metaverse from the traditional markets. What size market is that? Well, BD Swiss does €1 trillion in trade per annum, averaging anything between 220 and 250 billion euros per quarter. And they're committed to moving a percentage towards our market. Parallel to what we get inside of meta mining, parallel to what is coming on board in the next few months with compound trading and meta trading, which is possible because of the relationship with BD Swiss as well. Parallel to the very first real estate now being bought and sold inside of Lydian World. We went from buying citizenships to buying pieces of property inside of Lydian World. There has been an incredible acceleration from our development teams. There's been an incredible acceleration from alignments with big brands. And what that has brought about is the onboarding of huge amounts of communities that have been looking for this option. So I'm going to talk a little bit with a large influencers, large communicators large leaders from other communities. And those other communities have been approaching corporate and saying, we've been trying to do what you've just achieved for the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years. We've been trying to marry the world of crypto and blockchain back into the traditional markets, but inside of a metaverse environment, and we just haven't got it right yet. We want to partner up with you. We want to partner up with your technology. We want to bring our community, our liquidity, our influence across. And so I've had the privilege of sitting on calls with teams that are being trained, do a 3-day training, and they're committing to bringing in huge amounts of volumes. I can't share the sales targets. That's not for me to do. But I can tell you right now that it's big. That what we're sitting on right now is not what we're going to be sitting on in 2 months' time, in 3 months' time, in 6 months' time. The products you've seen up till now are not the products that you're seeing going forward. This metaverse environment of Lydian World allows us to house a whole lot of our income streams under simple product headlines. And so we've got a meta certificate that we've tested in the month of July and played with language and numbers and the ability to add bonuses because we know how to then retrieve them back from profits later. We've played with those numbers, and I can tell you right now that even what you've got now, which is really good, is going to alter slightly on the 1st of July as well. It's going to be even simpler than what we've seen. Because we've got the APIs, those are integrations with those different companies that have allowed us to simplify our product, simplify our message. We finally got a vehicle where people can put capital in, that capital can work for them. And at the same time, we've got a product that allows business builders to be able to market and earn commissions, take those commissions and recapitalize, or go and buy the bread, the milk, the sugar, the school expenses, the things that help us live. We've got that. It's been an 18 to 19-month journey for us. But for Alexandru Kochendow, who's headed up our development team, this has been 5 years in the making. For Mr. Height, chairman of the board, this is the 3rd decade of building out large, successful business systems. And you and I get to be on this ride into a blockchain-based metaverse environment. That's where we're at right now. And so it gives me great pleasure to hand over to my friend Harry, who's going to show you probably the simplest starting point for anybody moving towards this. Because here's what every person wants to know. If I put money into this, is it safe and does it work for me? And 2, does it give me balance? I've been contacted over the last, I think it's been 2 months now, from friends of mine who come out of a trading environment. So they trade Forex, they trade cryptos, and they've been reaching out to me over the last 2 months because the crypto market is in a bear market right now. So their trading is not hugely profitable right now. In fact, they've had to lean more into the Forex market, but then they're overexposing themselves by leveraging because the volatility isn't really there. And guess what I've been able to do in the last 3 weeks? The last 3 weeks, I've been saying, take a look at this. Take a look at where we're going here. Take a look at this brand, BD Swiss over here. Have a look at how we can put capital in. It can be meta brokered. And these guys are loving it. In the trading community, this is what people have been looking for. It's the front door. It's the first step. It's the starting point when you start out inside our company is how do we get our capital to work for us in a safe environment? And so, Harry, thank you so much for
Hello, this is Dr. Greg Gary coming to you on May 24th in the year 2022. The title of this program is Wealth Transfer, a New Era in Time. Indeed, we have entered a new era of time. The world is in partial crisis, but getting ready to move into wealth transfer. If you're in the right place at the right time, you can experience that chapter in history. Well, we are gold standard partners. We just partnered up with BD Swiss in conjunction with Lydian World, and we've just brought in Mr. Floyd Mayweather, world boxing champion, as a brand ambassador. It's a very good time for you to be watching and listening to this presentation. Here's the disclaimer. I'll let you read it independently. I'll just read the last line. This presentation is not financial advice and was designed for educational purposes only. Thank you very much. Well, Gold Standard Partners, who are we? We are a global membership organization that positions you to build multiple passive residual income streams paid to you in cryptocurrency on a blockchain and decentralized finance marketplace, also called DeFi. Now, the ecosystem is extensive. This is no small project, folks. GS Trade, our trading platform. We have masternodes and staking. GS DeFi, our own telecom company. GS Lifestyle, the internal banking system that allows you to come in and out of cryptocurrency and fiat currency and also move large amounts of money through the blockchain. We have precious metals that are coming soon, NFT production and facilitation, our own media company, our own real estate on the blockchain system. We have GS Partners, the business and marketing arm. We'll tell you way more about Lydian World momentarily. And as I mentioned, we have our own internal bank. Now, all of these systems underpinning it, or the gas for it, not unlike Ethereum, which is the gas for contracts on the blockchain, the gas for all these entities in the ecosystem is the G999 utility cryptocurrency. Well, our head office is in Dubai. There at the door is Mr. Joseph Haidt and one of our business associates. It's a beautiful office. If you're in Dubai, go visit. Please know that United Arab Emirates is very, very, very crypto friendly, blockchain friendly, metaverse friendly. I have about 15 news releases like this through Arabian Business. Also, please know that Dubai is a gorgeous city, modern, visionary. It's the safest city in the Middle East. We're just coming off a major event in Dubai at the Dubai Opera House. There's Mr. Haidt on the left there, CEO and chairman, Alex Kochendow, chief technical officer, genius. This event was absolutely 7-star, folks. Everything done on this platform is top, very, very classy, first class. So wave one was from December 2020 up until April 2022. What did we achieve? My goodness, 100,000 members and 120 million in sales. What's the vision for the future? 1 million members and 1 billion in sales. When you see who's attracted to us and the partnerships that are here with more coming, you'll understand why that is a reachable goal. There's Mr. Mayweather with the Lydian World shirt, and there he is standing beside Joseph Haidt for the big fight that was just in Abu Dhabi, where everybody attended from the company, as long as lots of partners from around the world. As said, we do have our own private banking system. You can keep all your crypto and fiat in the system and yet experience global spending capability. To get involved in all this, the membership is merely $33 USDT per month. What does that get you? It gets you Blockchain Academy. Let's go from right and down. Special member-only discounts, special member-only promotions, Lydian World citizenship vouchers, limited edition NFT, wait till you see the website. It's stunning. And of course, a GSP referral link. Should you wish to get other people involved, you don't have to. You can come in with your assets and let them grow, get your residuals over time. But if you do want to share it with a few, or you want to build a big team, you're welcome to do that as well. Question: what if you could find a company whose vision was so massive that it encompassed NFTs, gaming, huge business, metaverse, you'll be hearing that term more and more, trading, digital banking, precious metals, and lots more coming? Well, welcome to Lydian World. And Lydian World is, here's a map inside of Lydian World, and you can acquire citizenships in all those nations, and then you can build within the cities. It's called a gaming platform. It's called a metaverse, but really, it's a very fun way to do business inside of a system that is game-like. But I assure you, it's not a game. It's real business with real assets. So the new metaverse certificates, that's the talk of the town right now, and that's where the big opportunity is, okay? All-in-one certificates give you 3 powerful wealth building strategies: the citizenship voucher, meta mining, and the meta broker. Here's an overview of what I just spoke of. Now look to the top right. This is our new trading company that we've partnered with, BD Swiss. They don't just trade crypto, they're in cash, CFDs. Crypto, as I said, commodities, stocks and ETFs, fixed income, investment funds, and digital banking. They've got it all. They're number 3 in the world, and we're partnered up with them. 1 trillion in trades last year. So let's take a look at this certificate. So as I said, there's 3 components. Citizenships. Now, what's happening in these citizenships is we are putting assets into them. Nodes, card swipes from the GS lifestyle, staking, mining, trivia game, trading, and there's more to come. And so a partial piece of those assets and what's being earned off of them goes into the citizenship. So you will be earning a micro residual income stream for life. So you can own 1 citizenship, or many own hundreds of citizenships. So that's hundreds of micro residual income streams. All right, you can get involved in meta mining, and the native coin of our metaverse is called the Lydian Stater. Watch closely how that's going to perform in the market. Now, we have a current promotion on. You can exchange your G9s for 0.02 cents to get into meta mining. Well, it's cheaper to buy G9s. They're much cheaper than 0.02. You can get anywhere from a 3x to a 6x by acquiring coins on your own and then doing that conversion to get the meta mining certificate. So there's a 500% gain sitting there for you waiting to be acquired. Let's look at the meta broker. That's with BD Swiss, brokerage and trading. 2 components to that, something called the certificate value portfolio, and you will be paid guaranteed 300% on that certificate if and only if you load your BD Swiss portfolio, the other side of the equation, and there's something called a maximum load on all of these certificates. So you only need to do 33% of that load, and you can get the 300%. And besides that, the load itself, you can earn 20 to 500%, depending on if you want low risk, medium risk, or high risk. So again, 2 components to this. You put the value of your certificate in one portfolio, and in the load portfolio, if you keep 33% in, you're going to get a guaranteed 300% on that. So get back to the person. I know it's a little sophisticated, but get back to the person and they'll clear it all for you. But bottom line is, it's a huge opportunity. Oh wait, there's more. Whether you're mining or whether you're trading, whatever you put in as a load, whatever principal you put in, the company will double that. Yes, you heard me right. The company will double that. So this is a very important slide to understand, and we have more slides to back it all up. Well, let's talk a little bit about BD Swiss. They're in over 180 nations, 1 trillion in yearly trading volume last year, 1.6 million registered accounts. Now, all those accounts are in use. They're not latent, they're in use, they're active. 55 plus million trades executed, and they don't put out data unless it's audited. So last update was Q3 in 2021. Okay, here's a picture of the CEO presenting in Dubai, showing everybody how licensed up they are. And folks, there's a lot of platforms out there that are maybe trying hard, or they're operating without a license, and some are operating in untoward fashions, but they're attracting people and people are losing money. Okay, this BD Swiss is 10 years old. They have a track record. They win awards, and they are fully licensed. They are fully compliant. So in this new deal, they're striking up 3 new stable coins in euro, in Swiss franc, and in gold. If you're tracking world economics, you'll understand that the US dollar is not doing well, nor will it do well in the future. Too much printing, folks. The demise of the US dollar is imminent, okay? So all of this is on our G9 blockchain. That's going to raise the demand for the coin. And if you bring in anybody, if you're involved with anybody, you bring them into the system, they're going to be your partner for life, and you get to earn off of their earnings. That is phenomenal, okay? Well, it pays to be early. The deadline for these offers is June 30th, 2022. So the citizenship offer, the 300%, the 100% load match, the trading profit opportunity, now is your time. Here are the membership certificates. They start at 49 and they go all the way up to 100,000 with a 2 million load. But the earning opportunity is absolutely massive. We've got lots of charts to show you. Get back to the person who showed this to you. 2 simple steps. Well, get your link from the person who brought you here, activate your monthly membership, start accumulating your digital assets so they can grow. You can get your residuals going. Well, I said this was about wealth transfer. I said this is a new era in time. Have you ever heard the term seed, plant, harvest? It's right out of the Bible. If you plant well, you will harvest well. So folks, it's time to plant. It's time to harvest. It's time for wealth transfer. So this has been Dr. Greg Gary. Thank you for listening. Get back to the person who sent this video to you. Thanks for listening and watching. God bless you.